All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Relentless Racing League. We are here at Bristol for the Championship 8 round. Only 3 races left to go in the season. We got Isaac Wilson, who is also joining us as the commentator and the race control. How are you doing today?
What is going on? Doing pretty good. How about you yourself?
I'm doing wonderful today. We're going to go over the quick lineup while they're going through it real fast. We got Angel Hernandez, Josh Grosso, TMJ front row, Alan Coons, Malarkey. Then we got Barkley, who just snuck his way in on a win last week. John is going to be in sixth. It's going to be Ethan in seventh and Andrew Kolb eighth. And it's going to be Mike Sabone ninth, Eric Warman 10th. Matt Forns 11th, McComas is 12th. Tom Stanley 13th, Buckley 14th, Anthony Frey 15th, Giverson 16th, Darnell 17th, Steve Davis 18th, and Greg Klein 19th. Hopefully there's no feedback that we're getting on here. I don't think there is. All right. Thunder Valley got 225 laps. Our stages are going to be at 60 and 140. So who do you think has a chance today to perhaps
Man,
get away with the win?
you know me. I gotta play favorites. I gotta pick that 73 Justin Malarkey. But in all reality, in my experience watching you guys race here, John Nidek has always been really quick here. So I definitely see that 33 sneaking into victory lane. He has had some really good long run speed in the past. So we'll see.
Yeah, green flag is out, so we'll see how the long run is for everybody. But I know the 42, Angel Hernandez, he's one of the best long run guys in the league, and if he gets out to a fast start, I think he'll be a really hard guy to catch. But taken away from what we saw at the truck race, I think we're going to see very similar running in Cup, because in the truck race, we had the bottom, which was really, really hard to kind of make use of. Most guys preferred the top to make a pass, but you don't really run the bottom as a normal line or the top as a normal line. You kind of run that middle lane. So you also see some guys running the top though. So there's a lot of you can do, but you don't want to get caught out on the bottom. That'll put you far back.
Yeah, and watching you guys early on, one thing I'm noticing, especially these front guys, is they're not doing what you see a lot of people do. That's the fastest way around, which is diving in the corner. They're kind of running that smooth middle to top line. You dive in that corner, you're going to roast that right front quicker than anything.
Yeah, we can see Grosso taking a little bit of a lower line than Angel Hernandez. It could also be him just trying to get the air off his nose. But yeah, they come in and then they kind of cut down.
And you also got to wonder how much these teammates are going to fight here early on in this race for that lead.
You can see Thomas Stanley falling back a little bit on the line. He's just kind of chilling out a little bit. He's got that old Miller Lite scheme, 56 actually. Looks pretty good.
That does look like a really good old scheme there.
Yeah, while we got an opportunity really quick, we'll go over who is in the top of points. We're going to pull those standings up. So the top 8 we're going to have fighting tonight is going to be Grosso, Hernandez, Barkley, Malarkey, Ethan Flanagan, Alan Coons, Nidek, and Kolb in that order. You get 1 point for every position you are. So Grosso has 3,008 and Kolb has 3,001. Surprised to see Kolb all the way down there, considering the great start of the season he had. I believe he has the second most wins, if I'm not mistaken, too. No, he's actually tied for first.
Yep, him and Justin actually tied for first with the most at 3.
And it's been a hard fall off in the playoffs for Kolb, and luckily, he had a really good season, because if he didn't, he could have easily maybe have fallen out in the last round of 12, because his playoffs have just been very mediocre.
Yeah, and if you ask me, that's one thing that I really love about how this playoff system works is you really got to show up in the playoffs. Yeah, you might have a great season. You got to keep that run going through the playoffs. Back in the old scoring system they had in NASCAR, if you started that season off really well, top 10, first 14 weeks, and then fell off towards the end of the season, you still won the championships. So I like this new setup that they do.
Well, I wouldn't say particularly like that, but I'd say the old system rewarded a much more consistency.
You see Kewins right now trying to battle get around Justin Malarkey for that third position. Another thing to point out is stage points, how important they are, especially with just 2 races per round. Every point matters here.
Yeah, especially when everyone is separated from highest to lowest. It's only a 7-point separation. So it's going to be really
Yes.
helpful for those people who are kind of in that lower end to get some good stage points. Looking at the standings right now, it does not appear that any playoff driver is outside of stage points right now. So that is good for all of them.
Yeah, actually looking at it, top 8 are all playoff drivers.
Yeah, top 8 are all playoff drivers. And now here's a question. Now, who do you think's going to win the race? Because I think, Bristol, it'll probably be calm for like the first, stage or two. We might see a caution here and there. But I think it's really going to get tight, especially if there's a caution with maybe 30 to go. I think you want to be putting yourself in a position to where you can be up front near the end. Because from what I saw in the truck race, it was very difficult to pass. And going off of what we saw in the truck race, you were in it too, if I'm not mistaken, yes?
No, I wasn't in that truck race.
Oh, you were not?
I completely forgot what was going on that night.
Yeah, so what happened with the truck race is I was up there with about 5 other guys, and then the rest of the field pitted. With 20 to go, they weren't able to make it up because I'd say part of that was because we hadn't run enough on our tires at that point. We probably made about 15 green flag laps on the tires at that point. But also, it's just incredibly difficult to pass because it would appear that Cohen's maybe just slightly faster than Justin, but he just cannot get around him because Justin would be a fool to leave that outside open.
Yeah, and we're on lap 21 now, so these tires have kind of the new lives these tires have. They've been gone for about 6 or 7 laps, so you really can't dive it in there like you could on fresh tires. So you run the risk of getting too tight and throwing the guy to your right, and the next thing you know, there goes both y'all's races.
So basically, everyone ran their best lap time at around like a 14.8, 14.9. Right now, we're down to about 15.5s. Barkley's actually in the 15.4s. He just ran actually a 15.3. But everyone's staying pretty consistent. I could see maybe a couple of guys just running a little bit slower times, trying to conserve tires. But you just got to be careful. You don't want to give up too much track position either, because it's going to be really hard to get it back. And I think pushing hard may be a better idea than saving, because you don't want to get gobbled up and then have to get that all back, because I think whatever you use saving, you're going to end up trying to pass the guys who are slower.
Yeah, and really with these, I like to call them 40 lap sprints. I mean, this is the best time to gain as much track position you have to set yourself in a good spot going into that third and final stage.
It does appear that there is some damage on the 8 car. I saw some smoke come off on the 8 earlier, and yeah, he did hit the wall. You can see the tire kind of protruding out from the car. Luckily for him, I think it's still driving okay, but if he doesn't want to keep on hitting that wall, because it can definitely cause some problems, but for now it looks all right.
Yeah, and also looking for Bristol. We're at Bristol. I mean, you don't need aero here at Bristol. I have been in, I have broadcasted races where I've seen the winner or even the top 5 driver have no front end, no bumper, no hood, nothing, and still get a top 5. But they come up on lap car, the 97 Connor Darnell.
Kind of surprised to see Connor Darnell back there. Just barely missed out of the playoffs. He was only, I believe, a point or 2 off, and yeah, Grosso hits the wall again. Now, you're not really worried about the outside shell of the car if you hit the wall. You're more worried about the internals. Like, you don't want to mess up your steering. You don't want to do that, because if you mess up your steering, you're going to give your tires irregular wear. And from what I noticed, the right sides are going to absolutely get smoked compared to the lefts. We were seeing tires earlier in the week. We had about 85 on the rights, but we only had about 97, 96 on the lefts. So you don't want to be getting in a situation where you're going to be giving yourself a weird wear by knocking your tires out. But with the amount of wear too, I could see people maybe trying to get their bias a little bit more toward the rear so they can try to save up those front tires, because you don't want to burn out those front tires because then it'll just be more difficult to turn. Greg Klein, highest mover right now. He's up to 12th. Kind of alone right now. He's about 2 seconds off of Forns, and he's about 9 ahead of Frey. Well, actually 6 ahead of Frey. Do you have any idea how long a tank of fuel can last?
Not sure.
Yeah, they've just caught a big group of lap cars, about 6 of them in front of the leaders. That's going to allow Malarkey to get on the bottom, and it looks like the 56 will stay bottom. And Grosso just has nowhere to go right now because they're all just fighting on the outside. I mean, they'll pass those inside cars, but you don't want to do anything too crazy trying to get around some lap cars. I mean, it could cost them something, but it's really stacking up this top 5. Cohen's looking low, and Ethan's going to make a pass as Cohen's has to back out. Then they're maneuvering around Buckley.
2 to go near stage. This will be closed here, and
I thought we were going to 60.
Oh, is it 60?
Yeah. Grosso's really going to want to have to push it here if he wants to keep the lead. Ooh, little bump to the pink car. That's Giberson right there. I'm not sure if Grosso really wanted to go down low like that. He'll have the opportunity to get in the line if he wants it. He's going to try to probably shoot under him again. Surprised he's taking it so low.
Yeah, and this right here. Oh,
God! He took down his teammate.
42. Hard contact into the wall by Angel Hernandez. Caution's not out.
I believe that could be a team issue maybe later in the day, because we'll put it down and take a look at it. So, I mean, you can tell Gibb is holding up Josh as we go in the replay. And he just kind of gives him a little bit of a tap, it would appear. I'm going to try to see if we can get a better camera angle. Caution is out.
I don't think, I'm looking at it now, I don't think Gibb ever got touched. I think he just got loose coming off a corner.
He could have, yeah. He got right in the Angel. And, yeah, that's not going to help Angel out whatsoever. Now, we have a yellow flag for another incident, so let's see what happened. So, 3 wide, just a little bit. Ooh, and then the 70 gets touched by Grosso. And apparently, Kolb got a little bit up into the wall, and McComas didn't hold the brakes, and Klein hit him.
Yeah, I'm still back on the replay with the 32 and 42. 32 got loose. I can't say luckily for Angel, but Angel did not get an e-ball from that, so he can maybe still salvage this race here, as he's not going to have to sit there for required repairs.
Yeah, hopefully Angel does not have to do that. But yeah, I cannot imagine everyone was too happy about that. So we're gonna have one car stay out. That's gonna be Tony Frey. And I guess that caution is good for those lap cars, because then they'll be able to get their laps back, and they're not going to have to really worry about getting lapped, because with the amount of time that is left in the race, or not in the race, but of the stage, we're only going to be getting back to green in probably 12 or so to go. So no point in pitting. Just run the slow stage and just pit.
I don't think really staying out here. I mean, I know you're saying it's hard to pass, but staying out might cost you some positions, because these guys are on 40-lap old tires, and granted, it's a 12-out shootout, but 40 laps compared to fresh tire, that's a big difference.
Now, if I was Tony at this point, I would have just stayed out. But, I mean, what do you have to lose?
He's not in the playoffs. He can throw a wrench to some of these playoffs guys' plans.
Like, looking at this, doesn't make much sense for Frey to kind of pit again. You know, because here's the thing. He's already out there. I know he's trying to lead his lap, but I don't really understand it, in my opinion, because unless you can't make it, that's the only reason I could see. If he can't make it, then you know what? We'll actually just bring him up and ask him. I like interviewing Mr. Frey. Ask him really quick.
Now, one thing.
Hey, Tony, Mr. Fuelman. I was just wondering, would you add enough to make it if you didn't pit?
I think so. I didn't really look, but it. I'm pretty confident we could have made the full 60 laps.
Nice, nice. Well, I'll tell you, if you're in that same situation again, close to stage, we'll tip to the latte, boys. Stay out, because I think it'll be too hard to pass with 12 to go compared to
Yeah,
what you're doing.
yeah. I was burning up my tires. I'm still trying to figure this track out.
I mean, it's running pretty similar to what I saw in the trucks, which was top dominant and hard to pass.
Yeah, I haven't run enough practice laps here to get in a groove. So
Yeah.
as the race gets going, I'll get in a groove and I'll probably be up a little further than I am right now.
It was interesting to see what went on with those lap cars, though, because that was a big old miss right there.
I saw it behind me. I couldn't tell what really happened. I thought maybe I had pinched McComas down, but I wasn't sure if I did or not.
I'm not too sure either, but we'll let you get back in the race. Thank you.
All right, see.
All right, we're back in the air again. And Grosso's going to lead it again. Hopefully he'll be able to just get out in front. But it looks like Ethan's going to have to run just a little bit on the high side. Just has a nose on the fender. Grosso might be able to slide up right here, and he will. And now I think he'll just be able to sit up there and just run these next 10 laps hard, and he should be able to get a stage win.
Yeah, and if you're gonna pass someone, now's the time to do it for track position. 10-lap shootout, run these laps up to qualifying laps.
Nidek falling back a little bit as he's getting just smoked on the inside, even getting passed by Angel Hernandez, who's got a good amount of damage on that car. I'm not sure if his RPMs are down. We'll go on board later with the 42 and check that out. But you can see how a car that's even damaged, that hits the wall as hard as it did, you know, it can be faster on the high side because the inside just has no run, and you have to just put so much more into it.
Yeah, currently we got a really good battle for third place between Malarkey and Warman right now. Those two have been going at it for like the last 4 or 5 laps or so.
Yeah, Warman is in a good position. He's not in the playoffs, so he doesn't have to really worry about anything like that. But we will see if Eric's going to try to get that 113 moving. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get that done, though. I think for him it would probably be just the best idea to stay in fourth. And, you know, considering that pit stops really don't change much unless someone makes a mistake, I would say it would make sense because then he'll be on the high side and he'll probably be able to have a better restart.
What do you mean? What do you mean they'll make a change? I got that super fast pit crew on, man. What are you talking about?
Well, the first place car at this track obviously has the advantage with where the thing is, where the cone is, because you have to move like 2 inches and then boom, you're out of pit road.
Yeah.
And Malarkey, you know, challenging the inside on Ethan may cost him third. Eric has just a little bit of a nose on him, but a little bit of contact there, and I think Eric's going to take that third position. But Malarkey's still going to challenge. He's got a little bit of damage on that rear, but it's not really going to matter.
Yeah, and that's one thing about these Gen 6s that I never really liked, is that no matter what track you're at, how old or new your tires are, it is so hard to pass almost every track you go to in the Gen 6s.
I'd say the short tracks were pretty good. Really liked Martinsville. You know, I really liked like Phoenix. Phoenix was a great track with these things. There were a few 1.5 miles that were good. I liked them, but the only problem is it could be really hard to pass on those 1.5 miles. Grosso's going to win stage 1. Going to be Flanagan, Warman, Malarkey, Coons, Barkley, Simone, Florence, Kolb, and Hernandez. Top 10 for the points. We'll be right back on the Southern Broadcast Race Network after the pit stops, because we're going to see pit stops first, because everybody likes pit stops, even though we can't see the pit crews. Hopefully they'll add that in one day.
Yeah, and even after that massive contact, see Angel's still intense. That has to give a little bit of reassurance to Angel, like, hey, I still got a shot to kind of salvage this race after that contact.
Yeah, I'm going to go on board with him. I want to see if he's lost any RPMs when we get back to green. We'll compare it to Josh. So down pit road they go. We're using the dual pit road, not a single pit road. But Josh should probably easily get out first with the front pit box. Actually, no. Angel does, but he should still be fine. You see Angel finally get that 42 down pit road. Probably going to take a little bit of time to get repairs done.
So I'm riding cockpit with Angel as he stops. I can see his RPMs. He is 48 RPMs under power.
Simone, I believe, will be able to gain a position or two off pit road. And Angel's definitely going to take some time for repairs. Probably a good idea. Take them while you can. You're not going to lose a ton of positions anyway. So we'll be right back on the Southern Broadcast Race Network. Josh Grosso leading after 62 laps. We're back on the Southern Broadcast Race Network.
So I don't know if you heard me or not, Joe.
Yeah, I hear you.
I was riding along with Angel in his cockpit as he entered pits to get fresh tires.
Yep.
And RPMs are currently sitting at 1952.
All right, so...
And these things idle at 2,000.
Well, that shouldn't be too much of a hindrance to him. He should be all right.
At tracker at Bristol, I really don't think so. If you ask me, it might help him save tires because he might not be able to get in the corner as fast as everybody else. It might help him out in the long run.
Well, I do remember back in the day.
Define the day.
Oh, I'm talking like the 60s and the 70s.
I wasn't even a thought in my grandma's mind at that point.
Well, anyway, back in the day, you know, sometimes, you know, if they didn't have a big enough field, what they would do is they would basically take the second tier series at the time, which would be the Busch cars, for example, and you know, they would run kind of like a class race. Like if you imagine road, you know, you'll have like say GTE and GT3 cars, for example, or GT3 and GT4, or take that for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they would run the Cup and the Busch cars, and the Busch cars, you know, they had like shorter wheelbases, you know, they had less horsepower, and the way that those cars were, they could actually drive better on a short track, such as, I don't remember the, what, I can't remember that quarter mile in North Carolina. Bowman Gray. You could run a track like Bowman Gray, which was pretty much a flat quarter mile, you know, pretty well in an Xfinity car compared to a Cup car because of how the car was set up. And there were actually times where those cars would win against Cup cars. You know, NASCAR didn't like that. You know, the Cup cars were getting beat up by, you know, the pony cars pretty much. But one of those races, which I know a lot of people talk about was Bobby Allison's win. Bobby Allison says he has 85 wins because at Bowman Gray, he had a Xfinity car which was legal, and he actually entered that car instead of his Cup car, and he beat Richard Petty by a couple of seconds. And I believe this was like in the early 70s or the late 60s, somewhere around that. So imagine class racing nowadays if you had like 20 Cup cars and 20 Xfinity cars running around.
I would watch it. Well, while we're talking about that, Ethan and Gross have been battling out for the lead. Ethan on that low line trying to get something to work. He just can't get that pass complete as Josh gets the run off every corner.
The only way they can really get an inside move is either if you screw up on the high side or if you just dive it in there and kind of move him a little bit. But Ethan, if he wants to try to make the move on the high side, he has to pinch Josh up. You can't give him all that room. So like if you see what line Ethan's on right now, or you saw the line that Josh was running with Ethan below him, you got to move that car up, and you got to be pretty much directly underneath him. You can't give him all that room, because then you'll at least be able to have a better chance, because you're just compromising pretty much everything when you're taking that shallow of an entrance.
Yeah, you gotta wonder how much of those tires Ethan used up in those 10, 11 laps running on that bottom line trying to get around the 8-car of Grosso.
Speaking of Tony Frey, he is up in the 8th place right now. He's gaining back some positions that he lost going down pit road, but he's doing a pretty good job. Up 7 places, tied with Warman and tied with Klein. So the Latte boys are 8th and 9th right now. John Nidek not doing too hot right now, but we've seen plenty of times before where he'll kind of just a little bit slow in the first 2 stages and really turn it up in the last stage. Now, it's under the impression that we were doing 250 laps. Maybe I read the schedule wrong. We are doing 225, all right. So I was just making sure nothing was getting compensated for. But yeah, we are going to probably see green flag pit stops this time if there are no yellows. That's pretty much going to be about a 75 lap run in the stage.
Yeah, and this is what makes short track so tricky is when it comes to pit strategy, because if you come to pit lane, trying to split the stage in half when you can go longer and a caution comes out, you can be stuck.
So I'm gonna
almost 2 laps down.
I'm gonna go look on board real quick with Fuel Saver Stanley here. So just taking a look at how he's running, gonna compare it to kind of Grosso. Now granted, Grosso is taking a faster line, so he's obviously going to get higher RPMs out of it. But even in the corner, let's see, Grosso's hitting about 72 at lowest. And Stanley in the corner, he's hitting about, well, if he'd get his fist out of the way, maybe I could see. Let's see, he's hitting about 70, 60. Yeah, so he's definitely going to save a little bit more fuel by taking that lower line. He's probably going to hurt the tires a little bit, but he is getting off throttle, it also seems, sooner as well. So he's banking on this stage pretty much running clean. He could put a good amount of guys a lap down if he would be able to stay out there. And the advantage that these guys have is you have the short pit road. So with that being said, you're spending about 15 on pit road and about 15 in there. But that still's going to put you 2 laps down. If you get the tires, you'll probably be 1 lap down. So if you're one of the fast guys, yeah, you'll probably be able to get your lap back. But I'd be worried if you were a guy maybe just a little bit ahead of Stanley, not someone like Grosso or Flanagan or Woman. I think they'd be fine.
Yeah, I think this is one track I'm pretty glad I'm not crew chiefing at.
What about crew chiefing?
I'm pretty glad I ain't crew chiefing this track, because pit strategy can get very tricky here.
I would say it's either you split it kind of down the middle, you run it a little, you kind of just see what everyone else does. But if you take a look at the lap times right now, we'll go at the lap times right now. You know, we're at that point again, you know, about 30 laps into a run. We're down about 3/4 of a second. So running 3/4 of a second, you know, that's going to gain a lot of time. But I'm wondering, like, what is the slowest that these cars are going to run? Like, where's that going to cap out with the tires? Because if that's just going to cap out at this, you know, running along probably would not be a bad idea if the cap is only going to be maybe about a second. We'll keep an eye out on the lap times, though, and see how that progresses. Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Severe Weather Country. Our SDK is still broken, so I know their thing should usually be going up on here right now. But yeah, Severe Weather Country, shout them out because they've been a great sponsor all throughout the season, especially on that number 33 car. We'll go on board with John for a little bit. John's currently running 8th place. Probably just taking a little bit of a chill right now because he does not seem to be running as hard as he could be.
Yeah, I think John, what people realize is these first 2 stages are just kind of like mini races. I mean, other than points, they really don't matter. I mean, if you try to go all out for the first stage and you get right out, there goes your race. So he's probably trying to save his car, and he's more likely to show up in the final stage.
Yeah, but I mean, being conservative on stage points, I don't know if that's really the best idea, because looking at the top 10, the only people that are not in the playoffs that are in the top 10 are Matt Forns and Simone and Warman. So everyone's going to be getting points. The only person not getting points as of this moment is Andrew Kolb in 13th.
It's top 7, so it'll be Kolb, Natick, and Hernandez.
Oh, we're going to do top 7 points?
Yeah, top 7.
Oh, I thought we'd been doing top 10 the whole year.
Frank told me right before it was top 7, so.
Oh, boy. Well, yeah, that's why my calculations were off a little bit. Well, I was just looking at Kolb, and I thought he hit the wall for a second. But Josh Grosso is about to have his little second stint with the lap cars, and hopefully it won't be as scary as his first. He's put Stanley Darnell a lap down, and he's going to be coming up against 3 cars who are not necessarily fighting each other right now. Mike Simone has crashed and has disappeared. Oh boy, let's see what happened here. Ooh. Yeah, Simone hits the wall and nowhere for Malarkey to go. Luckily, though, didn't get recollected, but I'm surprised he towed. Yeah, it's a little bit wide off the corner there, and gets tapped.
Meatball.
He coulda. But everyone's down pit road again. And Tom Stanley should be getting his lap back again. With only about 35, we're probably going to have about 30 to go on the stage. Stanley should be okay.
And going to Justice Cockpit, I
Stanley
don't think
will
he
pit.
has too much engine damage. I mean, if these RPM gauges are correct as I'm spectating, he's only 3 RPMs underpowered. So,
Wondering, did Barkley get... Yeah, he did get 4. Alright, so pit road, it's going to be Grosso, Flanagan, Kuhns, Barkley, Neidick, Forns, Frey, Buckley. And then it's going to be Klein, and then it will be Warman. So Warman may have a little bit of mishap on pit road.
yeah, and Natick went from being out of the points of stage race here to running 5th here on his restart with probably be about 33, 32 to go when we go back ringside racing.
That is about right. Well, I'll be right back. We got 12 viewers in the chat. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you chat it up. We'd like to hear what you think. Who do you think is going to win the race in chat? We'll take a look at chats in just a moment. We'll be right back on the Southern Broadcast Racing Network. Welcome back on the Southern Broadcast Race Network. Under our third caution of the day, and Grosso is still leading. Been a pretty good day for Grosso. He's probably going to pick up a lot of bonus points, quite a bunch of laps. He's probably going to lead the most laps, unless something happens and someone else leads about everything else. So Grosso should be in a good position, perhaps, to get into the Championship 4. And we're about to hit the halfway mark of today's race at Bristol. Green flag out in the air, and Ethan gets a good start on the high side once again. But will he be able to complete the pass? So far, outside just has not been working well on the restarts. Ethan dies down low. And that's probably it for Ethan. He's going to have to fall back in the line. Barkley, good restart. He's going to fall back into third place. Cohen's giving him a challenge, but I just don't think he'll be able to do it on the bottom.
Man, how about Matt Fulworth breaking into the top 5 for the first time here tonight?
Well, I predicted he'd wreck, so there's still time for that. But I'd like to see Matt have a good finish.
It's not a super speedway, so it's probably not going to happen.
I was hoping Matt was going to have a good finish last week, and he wrecked. And one of these days, I'm just hoping, one day my prediction will be wrong. Every time I say Matt's going to do good, he's going to wreck. So I figured maybe if I say he's going to wreck, he'll do good.
Eric Morgan got a meatball flag from somewhere.
Let's check that out. Let's see. We'll
I don't recall
rewind.
Eric get involved in a wreck.
I'm going to rewind a little bit, see if there's something that's going to tell us. Oh, he hit the wall. Oh.
Well, we can always pull him up and see what might happen.
I found what happened. All right, so looks like about 4 laps ago or something like that. The 26 gets loose and recorrects and goes inside Warman, and he gets slammed in the wall.
Ooh.
Yeah, nearly goes over. Did he pop? I wonder if he popped. Ooh, that was a hard hit. Not sure if the 26 had to come down pit road, did he?
A hard hit for Bristol for sure.
Yeah, the 26 just got loose, nowhere for anyone to go. And that's probably going to be Warman's day done.
That's a tough break for Eric. He was having such a good race, sitting there in the top 3 for a bit, battling with Ethan and Josh. I don't know if you got a speeding penalty to one in pit road to put him back there, but man, it's a tough break.
Would appear same thing happened to Michael Buckley. I don't know how Stanley got 2 laps down, but he's 2 laps down now. The good thing for the playoff guys, and for us, I guess, for parity, is no playoff drivers are out of the race. So that's very, very good. Kolb, though, still very surprised that he is in the bottom right now. And, there are some good drivers who are at the bottom right now. We have Kolb down at the bottom. Hernandez, Malarkey. The top 4 right now is Grosso, Flanagan, Barkley, and Coons. And, I know Barkley and Coons are good, but I didn't have them as my top 4. But who knows? Maybe one of them can get a win today.
Yeah, and going back to Cole, he might still be trying to get some damage fixed from that wreck with Steven earlier on in the race where he got collected and it got put into the wall. He might have some toe damage that we're not aware of, making that car handle differently what it should.
That is a possibility. I'll go on board with them real quick.
And the thing with Justin with that wreck with Simone right in front of him, he might have some damage he's fighting right now.
Well, it seems like everyone has an offset, so I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. But Ethan is definitely staying closer with Josh this run. But Josh just seems unstoppable right now. And, with the chaos that we've seen in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure Josh would just like to get the win and not have to worry about next week. Next week is going to be at Michigan, which is an interesting track because Michigan in these cars, it's a very draft-dependent track. It's a very position-dependent track, just like this one. So you want to make sure that you have track position because track position is going to be key, especially near the end. But I would say Michigan, you probably won't be able to get away with dead tires as much as you would probably on this track.
Yeah, and unlike Bristol, Michigan, you get damage. That could be a race because Michigan is very aero-dependent.
Yeah, if you don't have the aero at Michigan, that can easily cost you a good chunk of time. Matt Forens keeps on looking high. Just doesn't have enough for Coons right now. Trying to break his way into the top 4, maybe 3. And Coons has been fast all year. He's had multiple chances at wins. He's finished 2nd and 3rd multiple times. Maybe Coons will be able to get it up today, but I would say you have to get past Flanagan and Grosso, though, because those are definitely the 2 fastest guys right now, and I would say the most likely 2 to win the race.
Yeah, Coons actually made it to the championship for last season, and Daniel won it on the last lap.
Didn't Ethan win it?
Ethan won it. Yep, Ethan won it. There was contact between Coons and Angel, 2 other championship 4 drivers, and Ethan somehow got by the wreck coming to the checker flag.
Who was the other guy in the championship 4 last year?
Was Tony Frey, and he got to go early in that race.
Yeah, Tony Frey just not been a good year for him. He's definitely had an off season. Just been running about mid-pack for Tony. But I'm surprised that Coons managed to get past the 57 on the bottom. And,
yeah, I was about to say that.
Matt's going to do some monkey see, monkey do, and let's see if Matt will be able to do the same thing. Maybe 57 just is a little bit slow right now. Matt actually backed out. It looks like he's going to try to get a good run, but I think Matt would be pretty happy with being in that position. I believe those 2 are teammates, aren't they not?
I believe they are. So
Yeah.
I would be surprised if Matt does anything to take that that stage point away from Barkley there.
Yeah, we saw how close it was at the end of last week, so you don't want to be passing your guy and then have that 1 point matter.
Yeah, we're watching all the battling going on. Malarkey has made his way into the 7th place to collect stage point here in a couple laps to be able to hold it off.
Greg Klein, though, definitely the highest mover. He's been doing a good job. I haven't really noticed that 92, but up 12. Put himself in the 8th spot, and maybe we'll be able to make some passes with about 80 to go. That's what we'll be about when we get under caution, but Angel Hernandez is going to have to step it up, and so will Flanagan if he wants to catch Josh Grosso. 1 lap to go on the stage, and Grosso's going to come to an easy stage win, not really having to worry about any lap cars. Nothing in front of him. Tom going to get a lap back. He'll be back 1 lap down. So all he needs is 1 more caution, and he'll be back on the lead lap. Josh Grosso going to win stage number 2.
Yeah, we got a good battle here going for the 7th position as it looks like Malarkey will end up being P7.
Yeah, Malarkey will get P7. It's going to be Grosso, Flanagan, Coons, Barkley, Forns, Nidick, Malarkey, Klein, Hernandez, Frey, the top 10. All right, well, time to see who will get the runs off pit road. I think Barkley. Now, he's been doing really good on the pit stop, so I'm wondering if he'll be able to gain any spots coming off of pit road. Everyone's rolling around the pits. Barkley's really far off pit road this time, so
I don't see Barkley gaining positions here.
I don't think he'll be able to get any gains perhaps off of that, but down pit road they go. Can see Angel creeping in just at around the 11th spot. Jack down on the cars, and Grosso beats out Ethan. Ethan, Coons, Barkley, Forns, and Angel continuing to get damage repairs done. Going to get what he can before he can beat John out. So good gains on Angel's part. I mean, John, then Malarkey, Kolb, and then Klein, the top 10. We'll be right back on the Southern Broadcast Race Network. Lap 142 of 225. Grosso is still in front. He's been leading the whole day. We'll see if he can go for the sweep of the stages. We'll be right back. So a funny thought kind of popped in my head while we were running commercial. So when we look at Truck and Arca, the 6 car clinched the championship. The 77 won the championship. What if the 8 wins the championship? 6, 7, 8. Well, maybe that's a good pick. Grosso going to be the champion. But we'll see if he can win this race to lock him into Iowa. And Grosso's been looking good on the short tracks, so I think Iowa would definitely be a good pick for him, even with damage. Grosso's been very, very fast. $80 laps to go for a ticket into the championship for at Iowa.
Green.
Grosso napping on the restart. He's going to just want to get into line now. Ethan's going to take his first lead and just barely gets in front. Ethan was probably throwing bricks out the window for just a second, and man, that was really close. That could have been a disaster for the 35 and the 8, but Ethan Flanagan the leader now. Ethan the leader, but we still got a big battle for 5th spot, and look who's back. Angel Hernandez is going to try to get in the top 5, get around Matt Forns. Lost a bunch of stage points, but definitely want to be in a position where maybe you can win the race, because Angel is taking a beat-up car that took a big old slam in the inside wall. He's brought it up to 5th, and I think he's driving maybe a little bit angry. He wants to win this thing. Looking at the lap times, though, Angel Hernandez still running a good lap times. He's still running in the 14.8s. on fresh tires. So luckily his lap times are not compromised with that damage. Tom Stanley has entered the pits for some reason. Any idea why he's entering the pits? Isaac? Would appear we lost Isaac. But we got a big shunt from the 8 car. Oh man, what happened here? Ooh. Well, the 8 hits the wall again, and I know the 8's faster than the 35, but he just can't let the 35 get in his head. The 8 can win the race. He just really needs to be patient, because he just smacked the edge of 35, and I don't think Ethan's going to be any more nice to that 8 car.
Yeah, I mean, he has to be patient, but yet again, he can't wait too long to make a move. If those tires get too worn out, it's going to be even harder and harder to pass.
I mean, I do know that I do know that Josh has long run speed. So he's thinking, well, either we're going to have to pit soon, or, I'll just let the run out. I know I'm faster on the long run, and maybe I can get him on a mistake later on. He's really forcing it high, and he's going to dive down low.
He's going to try to get it done on low. He's going to squeeze Ethan off the corner. Almost contact. Maybe there was a little bit of net kill there. Josh all the way down to the apron. Ethan, I think, overshot that corner because he thought Josh was going to come back up.
No, he got hit. Josh got hit, but lucky for him, he got up on the high side before the 60 could do anything. Now, we're going to be able to see how fast Josh is, because Josh, he put about 1.5 seconds on Ethan earlier. He's a little bit faster than Ethan. And when he gets up to Ethan, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be patient with each other, but you just got to be careful.
Ethan just mic'd up. He said, "Sorry, Josh, I got loose." And Josh responds with a simple word, "Yep." So.
Let's see if I can...
And what's going to make it more interesting is Ethan is actually coming up on Josh's teammate.
Let's see if I can maybe find this incident again really fast. So we're going to go back look at this incident really fast. Should be a good view. Coming off the corner. They both got loose. I don't know about that. You be the judge. Because looking at it here, they both kind of slid up there. So, I don't know. Looked like they both got loose. Anyway, look who is back. Josh is back on the back of the 35. And I don't think he's going to be very patient with him. Now, I did look at the replay, Isaac, and it looked like... Oh, he takes him out!
And the Barkley was involved in that as well.
Oh, no. And Ethan... Oh, boy. Oh, man. We're going to take a replay at that. Well, I don't know. Was that a swing or... Boy. We're going to go down to the camera. He did launch it in there. Oh, man. He tried to correct it and gets slammed into by Barkley. We'll take one more look. We'll go on board with Josh.
So I was listening to the race comms, and Ethan goes, "That was a you know what move." Josh responds, "Sorry, got tight." So. That answers any questions right there.
I mean, yeah, he just pretty much took the 35 and smacked him. And that, I don't know if we've learned anything from Angel. He might be still able to race. Man, but he got hit right in the tire. Malarkey just scrapes him 57, hard hit, and then Forns just kind of locks it up. Doesn't really have anything happen to Forns.
Yeah, and another tough break that also got Barkley involved in that as well. Both Barkley and Ethan did get the good old meatball flag from that wreck. So those two playoff drivers, they could be out of this race for now.
Well, Grosso better hope that if he does get in the playoffs, that he's nowhere near Barkley or Ethan. Because I'm pretty sure that he ain't going to have too many friends after that. Because, I mean, looking at the replay, that we'll go back real quick if we can. You see the stream there, Isaac? We're going to take one more look at this incident from before. So we'll go right here. I believe this is the incident. So yeah, I mean, they both got loose. The 8 kind of came up a bit. The 35 came and down a little bit.
Oh, wow. They were both sideways there, coming off that corner.
I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, you got sent a little bit, but I don't know, man. That could cause some drama in the next few weeks, let me tell you. Anyway, green flag back out, and look who's back. Angel Hernandez back to the lead. And Greg Klein, how about the biggest mover of the day? 17 up right now in his Toyota. The only Toyota in the field, running third right now. And Grosso's loose.
Oh.
And maybe that's the racing gods saying no.
Straight up.
He just flat out lost it. No caution. Little bonk of the wall. And now he's going to have to wait to see what will happen. I mean, luckily for Ethan and Barkley, they're not going to finish horribly. But, yeah. They're not going to be happy either. But Ethan, I mean, Angel, look at him, though. I mean, he's doing good with that car, taking that early wreck. I was thinking that maybe Flanagan or Barkley, they would maybe be able to be in a little bit better position after the wreck, but I guess not. Forns 5 laps down, back out there with his 10 car. Only got 8 cars on the lead lap after that wreck.
And even Andrew Kolb, he's had a nice recovery. He's now sitting in the top 4.
Yeah, Andrew Kolb not had the best day, but taking advantage of some issues that are happening and just getting his car in a good finish. He didn't get really the stage points that he wanted, so with some good cars being in a little bit farther back, it's definitely going to help him be in a better position for Michigan. But those TMJ guys, they are fast today because Angel Hernandez is already out to a 0.8 second lead, which
with the car that's underpowered.
I mean, it's not underpowered to the point where I would say it's really at a disadvantage. I mean, 40 RPMs, I don't think is going to make or break you. So I think Angel should be okay. I don't think it is that big of a difference for him. If you're that underpowered anyway, I mean, you're not really hitting max RPMs too much anyway on this track, so
True.
You're actually keeping it out of the red. So it's It's not really even going to make that much of a difference. But, yeah, as you said, it's probably helping him, actually. Single file for everybody else. Tom Stanley getting put a lap down by Josh Grosso. And I believe everyone pitted on that last pit stop, too. We'll just make sure. So, yeah, everyone did pit on that last stage. Well, not last stage, but on that last caution.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if guys like Hernandez and Malarkey, if they only took 2 tires, they did gain a lot of positions on that pit stop.
Well, we will perhaps have to take a look. We'll check down pit road. Gonna check out what happened on the pit stops really fast. See if he did take 2. No, Angel did take 4.
Yeah, so did Justin.
Unless I'm missing something. I think I was on the wrong one. So yeah, we'll fast forward it really fast just to make sure. And we'll see if he did take 2. I mean, he was second coming in anyway. Yeah, they did take 4. And he got the advantage with that early exit. Coming down on just about 35 to go. And the caution is out. Matt Forns, damn it. I say you're going to wreck, and I was hoping you'd do good. Man, well, Matt goes in there.
Was he trying to do his best impersonation of Ross Chastain?
Matt basically did what Zach did on the in the truck race, and that was hit the wall and then slammed in the inside wall. Well, that's unfortunate for him. He was already a few laps down, so not going to help his case. But now, coming down pit road, I think this is the last time we're going to see these guys down pit road.
Ooh, as Justin Malarkey overshot his pit there, had to put it in reverse.
Not good for that. Angel's actually already poked out of the pit lane. And he will make it out. Then we're going to have Malarkey second. It's going to be Kolb, Neidick, Frey, Kuhns, Klein. Tom Stanley just crashed. What?
It was just a welcoming party back on track, is what it was.
Ooh, hello. So yeah, Tom back down pit road. And yeah, we only have 8 cars on the lead lap. So while they're forming up, we'll take our final commercial break. We'll be right back on Southern Broadcast Race Network. Alright, hopefully I won't regret this. We're going to bring up Ethan and see what he has to say. Hello, Ethan. This is Joe in the booth. You got me?
Hey.
Well, pretty sure you're not too happy, so hopefully I won't regret this. But looking at the replay, I don't know. Did you get a chance to look at the replay of the incident that happened before the crash?
Yeah, and I hope the admins look at Grosso because in this race, at this racetrack specifically in this car, at night specifically, you can ride the wall on corner entry and mid corner, and it cuts you down the track and gives you a 10th. So I hope they look at that because that's all Grosso has done tonight. I know he doesn't hit the wall he never hits the wall. So I just hope they look at that. He's too perfect of a driver to actually do that.
See, I didn't notice him hitting the wall. I mean, I could see people hitting the wall, making mistakes.
Green flag, green flag.
That's what I was assuming. But, yeah, the incident I saw between you and him, kind of surprised that, that followed because you both pretty much just got loose and it was just a little bit of a bump. No one really lost anything coming onto that. Ooh!
Oh, that was close.
That's Cohen's around. But, yeah, you had a good race up to that point. You were pretty much one of the fastest guys out there. But, what's the plan for Michigan?
Yeah, it just doesn't go your way sometimes, and sometimes people, it's not the first person that he's taken out tonight. He's taken out a lap car, but I don't know. Hopefully I can hold him up.
You coming back on the track, or do you have still have repairs?
I'm lucky dog right now.
Really? How many laps down are you?
Too many.
Well, too many to be competitive, but hopefully just get out there and get a few extra positions. I know Matt Fornes just got in a wreck, so you might be able to get around him. I actually see that you just avoided the 60. I didn't even know you were on the track.
Yeah.
23 more cautions. He'll be back on the
Well,
yeah, I need a lot of cautions.
22 more cautions will equal pretty much ending the race under caution. We don't have unlimited restarts.
Oh, and Joe, just saying, you had a great ARCA season. I just wanted to congratulate you on your season.
Yeah, thank you, man. The ARCA was tough. I mean, Iowa was tough yesterday too. Truck season was better though, for real though. I had a much better truck season. But
yeah, you fought hard. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah, Bobby's a tough guy.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for y'all. Well, do you have any plans to go to Cup?
I don't know. Like we're between running part-time Xfinity or running part-time Cup.
Okay, I see. Well, I should probably run my laps here.
Yeah, have fun with that. I mean, we'll see what happens though. We're trying to figure out everything with everything being broadcasted. I'm going to broadcast too. Jeremy's going to broadcast too. We'll see what happens. Maybe me and Jeremy will swap, Cup dates and Xfinity dates. Who knows? I know I have to broadcast truck because Jeremy's going to run truck, and I hope he does very well in truck. I know, Bucher's going to be running up to Xfinity as well as Bobby. But I know you'll be back here in Cup next season, yeah?
You can always win more championships, even if I don't make it to the Final Four.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think my internet just killed itself.
Are you out? I still see you running.
Yeah, everybody just disappeared from me on track.
Well, luckily for us, we still see you, but you're not around anyone right now. Warman's behind you, but...
All right, well, I better get to it. Nice talking to y'all, though.
Yeah, nice seeing you, and, hopefully we'll see you in the Final Four. I know you're one of the best ones out there.
Here's hoping.
Which channel again?
Ratfink Motorsports.
Ratfink. All right, well, look who's behind Grosso. I'm just going to take a look at Grosso just for a moment. We'll just put it on TV3, turn off the UI, and we'll see what happens on this restart. Only got about 12 on the track. Green flag back out. Malarkey, good one. Grosso going to split. Tom Stanley and Warman jacks up Warman into the wall. Goes Warman. Oh, man. He is running like there's a mean man chasing him.
Yeah, one of the things we missed on the last restart was Malarkey getting a really good restart, getting around that 42 machine 2 restarts ago and able to hold him off for now. I don't think Justin will be able to hold him off. The Angel has been shown this last 20 laps, so he's definitely been the fastest car on the track.
Yeah, but we saw earlier, Josh was faster than Ethan, but wasn't able really to make the pass either. So going to be interesting to see how Angel will approach this. But yeah, man, Josh was running like if he got caught, he was going to get thrown into the wall and forgot about.
Yeah, and another guy to keep your eye on, this number 11, fairly clean race car, sitting now in the third place, coming to 20 to go. Andrew Cole, he's been known to win short tracks. He won National Fairgrounds earlier this season, so definitely keep an eye out on that 11.
Yeah, he was much better earlier in the season, but he's finally able to get up to the front. He was near the front last week as well, but got caught up in an accident, so he's been really, putting it really slow in the start, but he's been doing really, really good near the end of everything. Back up to the UI. 19 laps to go at Bristol. Malarkey, Hernandez, Kolb, Klein, and Nidek. And, I think Malarkey just is going to have to keep it as high as possible, but don't allow himself to get pinched or allow the 42 to sneak his way in there. Frey and Grosso battling for the 6th spot. Grosso looking low, Frey up high. Oh, just a little bit of a tap there. 6 and the 8 get together. Thought the 8 was going to get turned for just a moment, but Grosso's going to be back up in the 6th spot. He is definitely pushing hard, though, but it's going to be interesting to see how he will go around John, because I know I don't think John's going to be racing him without a lot of fight.
I can go back to every point matters. This is between two playoff drivers here.
Now everyone's got about 2 or 3 lengths on everybody. And Josh really looking high on John. This is probably going to be the battle right now.
Good old J&J battle.
Yeah, John doing the right move, puts it up high. He's going to allow himself to get a lot of position, but Josh really got a great run. I'm surprised he got around him so easy.
Josh really sent it in there and going into turn 3 there.
I feel like John may have just backed off a little bit. Not too sure about that, but we got 12 to go next time by. And Malarkey is just slightly extending the lead on Angel. I think with the bad race that Angel's had, I think he would be perfectly fine with the 2nd place spot. We'll see if he does make any moves, though. He gets a little bit closer, coming in the corner. Got a battle for 3rd right now. Klein a little bit loose. Klein looking for the 3rd spot on Andrew Kolb. Just gets around Andrew. Andrew throws the block on the 8, gets into the wall, but luckily going to be in a position where he's not going to lose a whole lot. Going to go on the replay really, really quickly. Yeah, he just late block. That's going to cost him. I think Andrew should be able to get around the 6th, though.
And going back to battle for the lead, Malarkey's been able to be about a half a tenth quicker these last 3 or 4 laps than Angel Hernandez.
Ethan running low, and we're just going to keep an eye on this really fast.
He might be looking for someone.
Oh!
There it is.
A little bit of a block, and that's going to slow down Josh's advance. Didn't wreck him, but just slowed him down. I mean, it took off a little bit of his front, but that's going to slow down the 8. I don't think he's going to win this race now. I don't think he had much of a chance anyway, but it did slow him down a bit. 6 laps to go now. Just a little bit of a block, and I'd say that's all right there from Ethan. Don't do anything that's going to toss a guy, but just give him just a little bit like, hey, I remember what you did. Stanley down low, going to get lapped around. Nothing's going to be able to be done on this end of the track.
I completely agree with that because you got a teammate leading the race and
35 got into the 56. 56 around.
The yellow flag
And there, I don't agree with that. That's a bonehead move. I know you have the race you want, but you have a teammate leading the race, and now you're gonna bunch the field back up with 2 to go on the green light checker. That's a bonehead move.
Let's see what happened. So it looked like it was kind of, oh. So there's a little bit of history to that. So Tom Stanley's just kind of running low and just steers right up into the 35. So I don't know. That looked like the 56 got loose.
I think the admins are gonna have fun after tonight.
I don't think that one is on Ethan though. It looked like the 56 did get loose. What does it look like in your opinion?
If you ask me, Thomas was retaliating for Ethan getting into his teammate because Thomas is the team owner, went up the track, put Ethan in the wall, and I think Ethan had enough and dumped him. Well,
I don't know. It looked like, honestly, I didn't see the 56 get contacted. It did look like the 56 did get loose, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the initial contact with the 56 and Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know really what it does, though. It is what it is.
I don't know. I get Ethan frustrated. I get it. He got raked out
by Josh. The problem with Thomas doing that is he's doing that right in front of Grosso. Grosso could have easily gotten taken out in that wreck.
Yeah, I think tempers are starting to boil, and I think where your teammates run on the track is going to get thrown out the window. Like I said, you got Ethan, his teammates leading the race. 4 to go, had about a half a second lead, and I don't know.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Thomas put that move, though, on Ethan. That could have very well have wrecked Josh.
Yep.
But then Tom got loose, and, I don't think there was much Ethan could have done. I mean, I think that was just Tom getting loose and just no time to react. Now, we've seen passes been made on the inside line. But what Malarkey's going to have to do is he's going to have to really pinch the 42 down. That's going to be his best chance to win. And don't count out the 8. I mean, I don't think he's going to have a chance to win. Maybe a top 3. Wonder how Josh is going to feel, though, once he sees that replay. I mean,
I don't know. He might get top 3. You might be able to ask him.
And I'll ask him, see what he feels about Ethan and himself. But I think Greg Klein's going to fight hard, too, because he really wants to win at 92. Has been close multiple times. Tony Frey's been close multiple times. John really wants to get a win in that 33. Coons and Kolb just want to finish. Get as many positions as possible. I think we might have another restart, though. We'll see what happens. 2 laps to go this time by.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag out. 73.42 get a great start. 8 does as well. The 73 is going to probably have the outside lane, and the 42 is going to fall back a bit, and that is going to be the 73.42 in the 8. White flag this time by. No one getting into each other, and I think it's going to be Malarkey. Should be able to get the win at Bristol. 42 hangs up a little bit high, taps the wall. Good run off the corner.
Good run, though. They make contact almost.
They make contact. He's not going to do him dirty, though. Malarkey wins at Bristol. And Josh is sent spinning at the end of the race, and it's going to collect half the field. Well, yeah, we saw Grosso get a little bit of a tap from Klein, and he goes spinning Gross. So Malarkey warming the 35 Frey, man. Barkley hits the 8 too. He's not happy. But Justin Malarkey gets the win today. And we know who our first Championship 4 driver is going to be. Wasn't the fastest today, but took advantage of circumstances and got the win. Let's go down for the interviews, and first we'll take Rosso. All right, Josh. Well, you had a rather interesting race. Couldn't get the win today, but wondering what was up with the incident with you and the 35.
I got tight. It was nothing intentional. I think he might have started cutting down a little bit, but I wasn't able to turn left hard enough.
All right. So, you saw the kind of the retaliation from the 35. Did you kind of expect that coming, perhaps?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, anyway, you ran a good race. You won both stages, gobbled up a lot of points. Finishing third. You're probably going to be able to get it into the championship as long as you have a semi-decent race at Michigan. You feeling good for getting in the championship in Michigan?
It's not my best track, but I'm probably just gonna try to do a lot of practice, see what I can do.
Yeah, because 2 stage wins in a third place. Most laps led. Not sure about fastest lap, but I know you got that. And it's an overall good race, good point day to get yourself in a position to get in the championship 4, maybe a championship. Who do you got for shoutouts?
Thomas, he helped me with steering ratio, offset, brake bias, all that stuff. That's what helped me be fast, I think, today. That definitely helped a lot. Angel, he had some trouble early, but he was able to get himself back up to second. Very good job from him. And Larky, congrats on winning.
Thank you.
All
That's all I
right.
got.
Well, we will see you next week at Michigan. I think it's going to be an interesting race to keep an eye on. So, good race today, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, man. See ya.
Well, since Malarkey's in here, we'll get Malarkey taken care of right away. Malarkey, congrats on the win. Probably weren't the fastest car today, but, taking advantage of some circumstances gets you the win. Close battle, Angel Hernandez. Thought it may have been a wreck on the final lap, but you did get the win. Tell us about your race, man. You're in the championship 4.
Yeah, the last lap was definitely really fun. I don't really ever have I'm not too worried ever with Angel. He's pretty clean. We raced at Dover before, pretty clean. Texas, I think like net coded or something. But yeah, I mean it was fun. It was a challenging race, definitely for sure. It just wanted to be on the outside. I could not believe I somehow got around him on that restart, and I was like, oh man, this could be a chance to win. Don't want to do anything wrong here. Just want to keep restarting on the outside and stay up there. It's just so hard to pass on the inside.
Yeah, because, we saw pretty much everybody having trouble on the inside passing. And when I saw you take the outside lane, I'm like, well, outside lane on the restart haven't been good, but it's good as long as you can get a good restart. Because then you got that advantage.
Yeah. That was pretty much the goal. Is just get on that outside and go. I got stuck down there on the bottom a few times, and it's just like after 5 laps, I feel like your tires are just gone.
Yeah, definitely. It's very hard to run that bottom. But, hey, congratulations on the win, and you're going to be in the championship 4. Michigan. You don't really got to worry about anything. You're in. How do you feel about Iowa?
Iowa, it should be really fun. It's definitely a curveball track, something we haven't really raced at too much, so that would be really fun. Hopefully, it'll be a lot of long green flag runs. That track's really, really fun on old tires.
All right, well, you finished first. What do you got for shout-outs, man?
We'll see. Well, thanks to you guys doing the broadcast. My family loves watching it, so shout out to my parents. I know they're definitely watching. And yeah, thanks for the league and everything else. It was a good night.
All right. Well, have a good night, and congratulations on getting the win. And
You too.
getting
Thank
into
you.
the championship. We'll see if you can get it, man. 25% chance.
Good odds.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Real quick, before we bring up Angel Hernandez, I'd like to say hi to Ashley, shouting out her dad, John Nidek. Had a pretty good run today, John did. He finished in 5th. And also a quick shout out in the chat to T-Stan FD1. Dang, iRacing. Something must have happened. And someone said give him the chrome horn. But let's bring up Angel Hernandez. All right, Angel. Well, you had a very interesting race. You know, front to the back and back to the front. Came very close to winning it, but considering the start that you had, I'm pretty sure a second you'll be pretty much okay with.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty eventful race. Obviously, early on, I was contending for the lead stage one, but obviously, there was a bit of netcode mixed with the racing incident, so overall, not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, you had a good race, and, you know, we actually noticed that you were down just slightly on RPM. But you were still running pretty fast lap times. You know, we were even talking about, you know, how that could actually be a benefit to you. Did the car feel, how the car feel like after the wreck compared to the before the wreck?
Just a bit tighter. Obviously, a little bit down on power on the straights. So I think just combination of those two made the right front a little bit easier to wear out. So I don't know. I mean, it wasn't the greatest car, but obviously I took it second.
I mean, hey, managing to come back from that big old smack into the wall to finish second, I'd say you had a pretty good day.
Yeah, it was all right. I just gotta figure out how to turn all these second places into first.
All right, well, maybe we'll be able to get a first next week at Michigan. But, you know, before that, what do you got for shout outs?
Thomas, he helped out with the setup before the race. Josh, he probably could have won it if some incidents didn't happen. And yeah,
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we will see you at Michigan. Good luck at Michigan.
thank you.
All right. That is all for the interviews. Well, Isaac, pretty entertaining race at Bristol. Bristol almost seems to never disappoint.
Short track in general never seemed disappointing. It's gonna be interesting going into Michigan, especially with some playoff guys not having the races they wanted. People like Barkley getting taken out in that wreck with Ethan and Josh. Cole, I don't think ended up finishing too well. I mean, he might have got. I know he got a top 10, but you got to remember only top 4 advanced in the next round. So should be interesting going to Michigan, see what people bring out, see what pit strategies might play out to get some stage points and stuff like that.
Gonna take a quick look at the standings, see if they were updated. And they have been updated. All right, so Josh Grosso is going to be in the lead with 3,066 points. We'll just say the last two numbers because the 3,000 doesn't matter. So Grosso has 66. Malarkey has 54. But he has the win, so he's okay. Angel Hernandez has 51. Ethan 50. So even being involved in the wreck, he is still okay. Kuhns is going to be 48. Barkley 46. Nidek 43. And Kolb 37. So right now, the guy that you have to beat is Ethan Flanagan with 3,050 points. Kuhns is 2 back. Barkley's 4 back. Nidek is 7 back, and Kolb is 13 back, and Angel is 1 ahead. Malarkey is in the playoffs, and Grosso is 14 ahead. So the only 2 people I would say would be maybe safe. Well, you know Malarkey's going to be safe, but I don't know. Grosso, he could, if he gets taken out early, I mean, that may not be safe enough. But people like Kolb, people like Nidek, they're definitely going to be hunting for the win. Barkley and Kuhns are going to be very close. It's going to be a close race. We're going to have to keep an eye on a lot of these guys.
Yeah, Kolb and Nidek, they're going to have to really try to get those stage points or they're going to have to win the race. I mean, 13 points coming in with these, I think they've been doing, 19, 18 card fields. You're going to need some stage points or a win.
Definitely. Well, it was a good race today. We'll be back next week for Michigan. Going to be another track position race. Gonna need to have the track position. and it's going to be interesting to see how everything is going to go at Michigan. Should be a really fun race. Anyway, that is it for us at the Southern Broadcast Race Network. We'll be back next week. Thank you to Isaac for coming in the booth, not only doing the race control, but doing the commentating as well. It was fun doing it with you. First time doing it with you. And had a good time tonight. We'll see you next time on the Southern Broadcast Race Network at Michigan. Any final thoughts there, Isaac?
No final thoughts. Just shout out to Chase for going MIA.
All right. Shout out to Chase. And finally, also, shout out to Grumpy Guys Racing for the sponsor of the race. Good night, everybody. This is the Southern Broadcast Race Network.